So why did I leave a 15-year career? Well paid, really happy as far as what I was doing every day as a business analyst, to set up my own business. Well, after several years at Wells Fargo, I started realizing there's a difference between employee and entrepreneur. I started seeing it in my peers, people that I went to college with that were doing their own thing. I started seeing it in what I couldn't do that I knew I could do if I left the bank and did my own thing. So I learned different perspectives that taught me that at some point I need to go my own way. So that's exactly what I did. And when I left Wells Fargo, I did it because I wanted to have a more unstructured management of my time. I wanted to be able to do what I wanted to do every day, which is different. I didn't want to do the same things every single day. And I didn't want to have a hierarchy of people above me and below me where I had to do only things at my level. I wanted to be able to push myself in ways I could no longer push myself when I had a structure around me. I had to create my own structure, and I wanted my structure to be unstructured. And that really attracted me to the idea of being an entrepreneur. So if you're feeling that way, if you're in a structured job and you know you can do more, you know you want more control over your time, you know you want to set your own agenda every day, then that's a sign it's time to leave your employer and set out and do your own thing. The second thing that I learned when I made this discovery that the lifestyle of an entrepreneur was more of what I wanted, was that I wanted to be able to do a little of everything, right? So I was a really good analyst and I did a lot of great analytic stuff, but I never really got a chance to do other things unless I changed jobs. So I was at Wells Fargo for 15 years and I had 7 different jobs in those 15 years. So each time I wanted to change, I had to post out and apply, and I had to get hired within the company to do something new. I couldn't just go to my boss one day and say, hey, I want to learn more about project management. I want to learn more about web design, because it wasn't in my job function. Now, I get it. They can't have me jumping, jobs. They need me to do a task. That's what I was hired for. I get that. But I didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to every day have to do one thing. I wanted to be able to start doing what I wanted to do. So if I wanted to work on social media management today, I could do that. So as my own business, as an entrepreneur, I can pick up and do what I want to do every day. Now, there's some things that I have to hire other people for, to delegate things to them that has to get done every day. There's some things that I have to work on certain days, but most days I pick and choose what I want to focus on. And that allows me to do a little bit of everything. I also learn what I'm really good at and what I'm not great at, right? So through trial and error, I learned that I'm not good at editing videos. So I record this video, I'm talking into the camera right now, but that's all I do, right? I have this idea of what I want to talk about. I talk about something for a few minutes, then I have a video editor go through and clean it up. Add the bullet points, add the text graphics that you're seeing, put in the intro and the outro music, put in that thumbnail at the beginning, the cover slide you'll see at the end. These are all things that I could do myself, but I don't do great, and they take me a lot of time. So I delegate them, but I tried them out because I had a chance to do everything. Number 3, the third thing that I really thought about when I transitioned from employee to entrepreneur is my self-motivation is a system, right? So every day you get up and you go to work because you have to, right? It's a system. You're part of a system. And when you're in those systems long enough, a lot of us learn things to actually be able to do it ourselves. And so there are some days where you want to get up and go to work at 10 o'clock in the morning, and some days when you can be in the office at 6. But that really doesn't matter. You have to be there at 8 o'clock every day. So when you have a system that you are building yourself, then you get up and you build your own system. I get up pretty much every day at 8 o'clock, but I don't have to. I have the flexibility to get up earlier and start working or stay in a little bit later before I start working. This kind of system that I learned at Wells Fargo as far as managing my time. Also, as far as managing projects, right? I use Excel. I use project management tools. I use Monday every day. I've used Trello. I've used different tools that help me stay organized. So I built a system. And the system was what I learned when I worked for Wells Fargo, but I brought it with me and I do it my own way now. And I even teach my team. So I have employees that I teach how to work within my system. So the idea is that you take this system that it allows you to be self-motivated. So being self-motivated is the key to being an entrepreneur, right? No one's going to tell you what to do. You're the boss. You're the one that has to decide. So you have to have it within you that you take this system and you turn it into your own daily self-motivation. This is another thing I saw other entrepreneurs do, and I decided I could do it myself. So I left Wells Fargo to do that. So number 4 is taking initiative, right? So when you're working for somebody else, you don't always take initiative, right? You can be a really great employee, but you're going to have days where you just decide, I'm going to just kind of mail it in today, right? I'm going to not do things I'm supposed to do. I'll procrastinate, take a real long lunch, go to Starbucks a couple times. I used to do this occasionally at Wells Fargo, right? There were just days where I would just not want to really get a lot done. I would do the minimum, just the minimum, so I wouldn't get noticed as not trying very hard. But that's just a reality of most of our days. A lot of us only do just enough to keep us from getting fired. We don't really do above and beyond. But when you're an entrepreneur and you're working on your dream, when it's your business, you want to take initiative a lot, and you start doing that every day. I mentioned before that I, basically have a different day every day. I set my agenda, I figure out what I want to work on, I decide what kind of time I want to start, how much time I want to work. All these things are built around what initiative I want to take, right? So what is the big thing I'm thinking about right now? And how much time and energy will it take me to achieve it? So this kind of helps me decide which initiatives to work on and where I put my focus. This type of taking initiative every day is something that you can't do when you work for somebody else. It just wears you down. Having somebody else tell you your worth, having somebody else tell you how much you should make, having someone tell you what you can and can't do as far as what your job description is supposed to do. All those things kind of beat down your individual initiative. But when you don't have that structure around you, then you can find and do what you want to do. Then it's up to you to take that initiative. So last thing, number 5, always be open to risk. This is the biggest challenge for entrepreneurs because you have to let go of all the certainty of having a job. Some of it's like things like you don't get the same benefits, you don't have the same time off structure, you don't have the same healthcare. Those things you can find as an entrepreneur, but you don't have ingrained into the job. You also have to know when opportunities in front of you should be seized, right? You have to be able to analyze the risk and do something. Companies, by and large, especially companies like Wells Fargo, are extremely risk averse. They're extremely conservative. They have to be because they have so much money and they have so many people that are impacted by their decision making. They make decisions relatively slow. But when you're an entrepreneur, you got to make quick decisions all the time. And you can recover quickly from failures in the most part, and you learn from each failure. So you learn that risk is something that you want, right? So I actually have an appetite for a lot of risk. The more I get into my business, the more I've been an entrepreneur, the more risks I can take because I know what my risk tolerance is. I know what I can do if I lose or if I fail, how I recover from it. I know that if I lose money doing this, I just have to make more money doing this. So this is the kind of thing that you learn. So it makes you more open to risk. And being an entrepreneur is a lot of risk every day, right? Who do you do things with? Who do you partner with? Who do you hire? All these things you're doing put risk on your business. So you have to be open to it. If you're not ready to take on risk on a daily basis, if you're not really the kind of person who gets up every morning and sets your own course, if you don't feel comfortable always taking the initiative, then it's probably not the right time to leave your bank or company like I left Wells Fargo. It's time for you to think about it and plan towards it, but you'll know on that day when you're ready to go out and do your own thing. And it's really because you're like, give me some risk. I love taking risk. That's what I eat for breakfast, right? So that's what we do as entrepreneurs. So if you know it's time to leave, then let me know. I can help you, right? So if you're ready to set up your own business, I've done it myself. I've helped other people set up businesses. I have a virtual assistant business. We can hire people that can work for you part-time on a budget, that can do things like manage your social media, edit your videos, do things that will build better graphics for engagement on social media, help you with administrative tasks like managing your emails. So whatever it is you want to do, we can help you focus on what you do best, and we can take care of all the rest. So that's what we do at Sonic VA. I want to thank you for your time today. I'll be back again soon with more tips on business that I learned when I left Wells Fargo. Thanks a lot. Get out there and have a great day.